Hello children, I am Nishi Sharma, TGT English. Today we are going to read the third lesson of the book Honeydew. The title of the lesson is Glimpses of the Past, written by S.T. Sawant. Glimpses of the Past. Before beginning the lesson, let's know the meaning of glimpse. Glimpse means a brief or incomplete view of something. This lesson has some pictorial glimpses of the history of our country from 1757 to 1857. These pictures and speech bubbles will help clarify our understanding of the conditions that led to the event as the First War of Independence in 1857. First picture, the martyrs. In this picture, you can see some famous persons of our country. We can see the famous singer Lata Mangeshkar, the first Prime Minister of our country, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Shri Lal Bahadur Shastri, and Srimati Indira Gandhi. Children, in the speech bubbles, you can see this is a picture of a function in Delhi. In the second speech bubble, you can read the lines of a famous Hindi song. Oh my countrymen, let your eyes fill with tears as you recall the sacrifices of India's martyrs. These are the lines of a Hindi song. ए मेरे वतन के लोगों, ज़रा आँख में भर लो पानी, जो शहीद हुए हैं उनकी ज़रा याद करो कुर्बानी. In the second picture, you can see the national leaders who worked tirelessly for the independence. Picture 2, the company's conquest 1757-1849. In the first picture, you can see the map of India. In India of 1757, the East India Company was in a strong position. Compared to the Indian princes, they had superior weapons. With its superior weapons, the British East India Company was extending its power in 18th century India. In the second picture, you can see Indian princes were short-sighted. That upstart Raja Bagh called the English merchants, they will help me to defeat him. The people had no peace due to such constant fights. Indian princes were short-sighted in their approach to the events of the time. Indian princes were fighting with each other. They often sought the help of the company to defeat other princes. This worked in favor of the company. The rivalries helped the East India Company and it could easily subdue Indian princes one by one. You can see in the picture, you can see Britishers fighting with Indian soldiers. In the next picture, you can see Tipu Sultan, a far-seeing ruler like the brave Tipu of Mysore, fought the British till he died fighting. However, the brave Tipu Sultan of Mysore fought the British. He died in the battlefield fighting the English. Thank God there is peace in the country now, no more wars and no looting by thugs. In these pictures, you can see the different opinions of the people. The general reaction to the British rule was not the same everywhere in India. The white man has killed or dethroned our kings. There were two kinds of opinions. There were some who thanked British for ushering in an era of peace. Others were against Britishers. They were afraid of foreign rule. Third picture, British rule 1765 to 1836. In these pictures, you can see some religious leaders preaching. In the first picture, you see religious leaders preached ideas like untouchability and child marriage. In the speech bubble, you can see anyone who crosses the sea loses his religion. In the second picture, you can see the speech bubble, all the misery in the world is due to women. The social fabric was in bad shape. Religious leaders preached absurd practices like untouchability and child marriage. Women is the cause of all miseries, and religious belief that anyone who crosses the sea loses his religion. In these pictures, you can see, in truth, Indians had lost their self-respect. The British scorned them. The farmers and the artisans were the worst hit. Heavy taxes ruined the farmers. The British cut the number of expert artisans. The British cut the thumbs of expert artisans. The British used every method to make maximum profits. The imports from England became tax-free. This is how they were ruining the small industries of India, and they were benefiting British company. Picture 4, Ram Mohan Roy, 1772 to 1833. Ram Mohan Roy understood what was wrong with the country. Ram Mohan Roy, a learned man from Bengal, understood what was wrong with the country. He said, "Let us not despise ourselves. Our ancient culture is great, and we are capable of greater achievements. We must first reform our society. Superstitions have been ruining us." This man, Raja Ram Mohan Roy, a social reformer, he knew what is the cause of all the problems. He told his wife, Uma, you can read in the speech bubbles, cows are of different colors, but the color of their milk is the same. Different teachers have different opinions, but the essence of every religion is the same. He tried to reform the society. He taught people that the main precepts of all religions were the same. He emphasized the practical use of knowledge. He went to England. There he remained the British. He remained there for a long time, and he reminded the British that rulers too had a duty towards their subjects. He started newspapers in India, but the suspicious British stopped them in 1823. Children, you go through the speech bubbles, read them. Picture 5, Oppression, 1765 to 1835. In 1818, a resolution was passed. Under it, an Indian could be jailed without trial in a court. The British officers drew large salaries. Besides, they made fortunes in business. You can see in the picture Indians behind the bars, and in the other picture you can see Britishers enjoying their life. By 1829, Britain was exporting goods worth 7 crore rupees to India. Even the British Governor General of India, Bentinck, reported to England, "The bones of cotton weavers are bleaching the plains of India." Thus the British prospered on the ruins of Indian industry. You can see in the pictures how the Indians were suffering and Britishers were making policies to ruin the Indian industries. Picture 6, Dissatisfaction, 1835 to 1856. In 1835, Lord Macaulay suggested that the medium of education in India should be English. Education in India was in Persian and Sanskrit. In 1835, an Englishman named Macaulay suggested a change. You can see in the speech bubble, we should teach the natives through the English language. The proposal was carried. The aim was to produce an army of clerks to assist the British. It happened, but it also produced a new generation of intellectuals. You can see in the other picture, English education produced clerks to whom the British gave petty jobs under them. Incidentally, it also produced a new generation of intellectuals. After being educated, Indian people started thinking. You can read the speech bubbles. We must educate our brothers and try to improve their material conditions. For that, we must convey our grievances to the British Parliament. Some of them tried to educate the masses. Some decided to convey the grievances of the people to the British Parliament. By 1856, the British were ruling the whole of India. Now they cared little about Indians' needs. You can see in the speech bubbles, they cared little about the needs of Indians. Our kings have become puppets and we have lost our old jobs. And lands, they are converting our brothers. You only talk, do something to drive them out. These were the thoughts of the Indians. The dissatisfaction in the public began to grow. People wanted to get rid of the British. Picture 7, The Sparks, 1855 to 1857. Taxes continued to ruin the peasants. In Bengal, the Santals who had lost their lands under new land rules became desperate. In 1855, they rose in rebellion and massacred Europeans and their supporters alike. Under the new rules, Santals had become desperate. In 1855, they rose in rebellion and killed the Europeans and their servants alike. You can see in the pictures the dissatisfaction and the sparks of rebel. The discontent was brewing in the East India Company's army too. The leader of them was Sepoy Mangal Pandey. The English did not care about Indian customs. They just overlooked the beliefs, religious beliefs of Indians. Against it, chapatis were sent from village to village. Few Englishmen had cared to understand Indians' customs or the people's mind. So they started thinking, "Oh, proud Brahmin soldiers, do you know that the grease on the bullet you have to bite is made from the fat of cows and pigs?" The Indians were shocked to hear this. What? The white man has deceived us too. This was the dissatisfactions amongst the soldiers. They did not know about it. Soon chapatis were sent from village to village. With them was the message that their native emperors would want their services. Similarly, a lotus flower was circulated among Indian soldiers. The masses also gave all help and support. This is how they started communicating things from one place to another, and the dissatisfaction against the Britishers was expressed with these mediums. Picture 8, Revolt, 1857. There was a violent outbreak at Meerut. The Sepoys marched to Delhi. Long live our Emperor Bahadur Shah. You can see in both the pictures. The revolt started at Meerut. The Sepoys who had revolted marched to Delhi. They were shouting slogans in favor of Bahadur Shah Zafar. You can see in the picture, the rebellion spread wider. Many landlords had lost their lands because of the British policies. And they were sore now, they were bitter now. The white man's rule must end. The people were oppressed. They lost their land, their money, everything. Now they wanted the end of the British rule. Yes, we will help you. People started gathering and started supporting each other. Total dissatisfaction could be seen in these pictures. Picture 9, The Fight for Freedom, 1857. Many former rulers like Begum Hazrat Mahal of Lucknow were bitter. The white man has taken away my kingdom. Popular leaders like Maulvi Ahmadullah of Faizabad told the people, "Rise, brothers, rise, the Angrez is ruining our land." The people rose everywhere in Bareilly, Kanpur and Allahabad. You can see in the pictures, many rulers like Hazrat Mahal of Lucknow was bitter. The English had taken away their kingdom. Popular leaders like Maulvi Ahmadullah of Faizabad urged the common man to revolt. Azimullah Khan told Tatya Tope, "We should have Peshwa Nana Sahib as our leader in this war of independence." Azimullah Khan told Tatya Tope to make Nana Sahib the leader of that war of independence. All over North India, the people fought pitched battles against the British. The patriots pounced upon the British and fought pitched battles all over the North India. In the next picture, you can see 80-year-old Kunwar Singh of Bihar received a bullet in his wrist and said, Mother Ganga, this is my last offering to you. 80-year-old Kunwar Singh of Bihar received a bullet in his wrist and he just cut it off. He just cut his hand off, throwing it into Ganga. He said that it was his last offering. Children, you can see the dissatisfaction of Indians through these pictures. These are the glimpses of the past. You can understand that how people suffer, how the Indians suffered, how they were oppressed by the Britishers. As a result, they fought a long war. They had a long war against Britishers. Children, go through the pictures well and read the speech bubbles. And you can take help of the history book if you have any doubt regarding the incidents. So read the lesson well and go through the speech bubbles and write the summary of this lesson on your own. Thank you. Thank you.